Hi, good morning. Good morning. Thank you all for coming. My name is Faisal Jassem. I'll give you a brief overview of Dubai Commercity, what it is, and why we establish with us. So, Dubai has 24 free zones, each caters to a different industry. Ours caters to digital commerce, of which e-commerce is a sizable part of it. So, out of the 24 free zones, we're the newest one actually to the family. We were established approximately 3.5 years ago. Okay. So we were established with a goal of focusing on e-commerce. This is the a map of the GCC in terms of the potentials for e-commerce. The potential has been huge and it's been growing exponentially. The reason is just because it has such a low threshold in terms of companies that are already established over there. Traditionally, it would be the excuse me, it would be the Amazons and the Shopifys that would come in, but we have a lot of homegrown concepts. A lot of the legislation is accelerating and changing in terms of accommodating companies that are looking to establish in the e-commerce field. And we were established, for example, as Commercity to provide the conducive ecosystem to do so. So Dubai last year established approximately, only in the first half, almost 30,000 businesses across the free zones and across the mainland. So a lot of people are looking at establishing their companies over there, not just in the UAE, but keep people coming from abroad to do so. This is why we are here today. Sorry. So as I mentioned, the opportunities are quite massive in terms of establishing with us over here. So Dubai Commercity was established with approximately a $1 billion investment. It's a joint venture between Wasl Properties and DAFZA, both of which are government entities. And our buildings are all, they're beautiful buildings and they're all LEED compliant. Very close to Dubai International Airport, which is the busiest airport in the world. So Dubai Commercity is divided into 3 sections. We have the logistical sector, which is the warehouses. In the middle, we have the social cluster, and here we have the business cluster. Now, here the warehouses are all custom bound. So if you have anything to do with trade or with e-commerce, the goods that come there are not subject to VAT and are not subject to customs. So it makes it as an ideal re-export hub. In the middle, obviously, is the social cluster, which is cafes and restaurants. And here we have the business cluster as well, which is also custom bounded. So there's no VAT and there's no customs. One also additional thing is that there are corporate tax incentives to be here than it is on the mainland. So this is all being built out. That is already built out and leased out. That is half built and the other half will be built later on. And here's 25% built out and we're still building out the rest. So just a snapshot of Dubai Commercity. So operations commenced in 2001. We have approximately 52,000 square meters of warehouse space. Currently we have 300 and, actually this figure is a bit old. It's almost 400 clients now. It's 390 clients. More than half of which are in the e-commerce space. So what we offer are, as I mentioned, so warehouses, you can start off very small with the smart desk. You can go for the serviced offices, which are basically everything is done and ready. It's just bring in your laptop and plug it in. The furniture's there, the cupboards, the chairs, the tables, everything is there. We have shell and core offices if you want to take your own and you're creative. We're like, we don't like your design, we want to do it ourselves. We have those offices as well. We have fitted offices, which is basically floor, so the carpets are done, the ceiling's done, you just bring in your furniture. We have warehouses as well. All our warehouses have been built with e-commerce and last mile logistics in mind. So the warehouses have very high ceilings, so they range from a minimum of 8 meters high to a maximum of 11 meters high. So it's built really with that functionality in place. We have as well restaurants and showrooms, so ground floor units as well that can do that. With the warehouse front, we're actually developing something very new in Dubai. So it is micro storage units. So I don't know if any of you know or have anybody in the family that's into the e-commerce space, but what ends up happening is a lot of the e-commerce people, they take over the living room, they take over the bedrooms, they put in their stuff, and then you have nowhere to live. So what we're trying to do is we want to get rid of that headache, so we're going to be doing micro storage units. 25 square meters that can be leased out on a monthly basis. So that makes it ideal for the startup e-commerce companies. So although today these people might be starting up, nobody knows them, hopefully we look at giving them the tools in order for them to expand and go forward. In terms of licenses, so again, we are authorized on behalf of the government of Dubai. We are the government of Dubai. So we can provide the various licenses, whether it's e-commerce, trade, services, industrial, general trading. We also allow dual licenses, so there's the free zone license, and you can avail a mainland license as well. You can do your visas with us over here. You can we can help you open up a bank account. So really, you don't have to leave the bounds of the free zone to get anything done. So these are some of the clients that we have with us. So as I mentioned, more than 40%, 50%, sorry, are e-commerce companies. But then we have the guys that are not in the e-commerce space, right? Like Coca-Cola, for example. Or, for example, the shared services, shared office suppliers spaces. We also have EV companies such as Blacklane and others. So what makes us different than other free zones? So this is very important. So it's our collaborative ecosystem. Now why I mention this is, look, all of you guys are here today in some way, shape, or form because you're thinking of establishing in Dubai. Maybe you visited, maybe you heard about it, maybe you never visited before. But going and establishing a business, never mind in your own country, going and establishing it in another country, you have so many moving parts, you have so many unknowns, you have no idea how to do it. So it can be very intimidating. We're like, forget about that, come to us, we'll help you from A to Z. So you get your license and your lease and your registration of your company with us, right? But you're like, guys, I need to open a bank account, I don't know how to do that. That's fine. We have tie-ups with banks that can help you open a bank account. You're like, listen, I know how e-commerce works in London and the UK. I have no idea how it works in the UAE. So how do I do that? I need some consulting around it. I know the factors that I need to do, I just don't know how it works over here in terms of that. So what we can do as well, in-house or from a third party, we can provide e-commerce consulting services for you. You're like, listen, I have this cup product, I make remote controls, they're really great, I don't know how to deliver them. Can you put me in, can you help me solve my last mile delivery issues? That's no problem. It's like we work with a bunch of logistics companies that can help you do that. If you're like, I need to design a website, I need talent acquisition, I even need later on to raise VC money, I need funding from my company. Our sister entity is a VC fund that is capitalized with $150 million that looks at ventures as well to see if they're viable for scalability and investment. So basically, we don't just give you your license and say, hey, see you in a year's time. We want to understand your business, we really want to help you grow that business. We want to create more success stories out of the Dubai Commercities, and there are a few actually projects, interesting projects that we're working on right now that they came to Dubai Commercity, they incorporated there, they started off very different. They're like, I'm just going to do something small over here. This business I'm going to establish is basically to fund my travels, to have some pocket money, and that's about it. I'm not going to really do much with it. But then 6 months down the line, a year down the line, they're like, listen, actually there's a really good, viable business, and there's a shortfall in the market that I can really focus on. So he just went from just focusing on his day-to-day, boring, mundane business to really, 10xing it. And to say, this is how I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to expand, and this is all can be provided because they came to Dubai Commercity, because it's such a conducive environment, and because us, as the management, as the staff, were there, we're looking forward to listening. We're quite a small community, so we really like to foster that fraternity. So as I mentioned, these are some of the products that we have on our platform. So again, you want to establish an e-commerce, for example, platform, we build the website, we do the lead generation and all that as well, last mile delivery, etc. So we've done so far almost 100 successful collaborations amongst our clients. So for example, let's take the example of Squat Wolf. I don't know if you guys know Squat Wolf. So it's, I think it was a brand established in Dubai, but makes apparel, makes sports apparel. So for example, shorts, training bras, yoga pants, etc. All these things. It's a homegrown brand. So they started with us over here, and they've been expanding now all over the world, and they've been shipping massively, and they've been raising, for example, I think it was Series B currently that they raised funding for. But what we do for them, for example, is why they're like, why they like to be with us. One of the reasons is we've developed, for example, a blockchain platform for companies directly. So what ends up happening is when you need to clear goods to go into the mainland, etc., you need to get gate passes, you need to clear customs for those goods going to the mainland. So I know I said custom bounded, within the bounds of the free zone, but whatever touches the mainland, customs need to be cleared like anywhere in the world. So from our perspective, instead of them doing it on an item by item basis, and after you reach a certain threshold in terms of quantity, it becomes very time consuming and expensive. So we provided a blockchain solution which dramatically cut down the cost. It's just a flat fee that they would pay for it. It would dramatically increase the processing time. So when you buy something, you get it instantly. So these are some of the stuff that we've been working with clients over the years on. We have another one. So for example, we have this company called Socially. Socially is actually a social marketing app. So for example, it's a very interesting, I don't know if you heard of this concept. It was new to me in all honesty. I only heard about it 6 months ago. So for example, you know how you have influencers that keep promoting products. Now on Instagram, you go see it, and then you go down to the to the description after, like, they wrote their whole life story, and then at the end you would see the link for the company, and you go there and you try to find the product. So it's kind of manual, it's very rudimentary. This one is like everything on the screen is basically because of augmented reality. Everything on the screen has a tap. Everything on the screen has a tag that you click on it. I like that person's hat, I like the lipstick she's using, I like her shayla, I like her earrings. You tap on it and it goes directly to the app whereby you can buy it and then it's delivered. So what we're looking at from our perspective, fulfillment is done by Nakal, which is a last mile delivery company that we have over here. Brands such as Sicily advertise on the platform because the platform doesn't have products itself. Dubai Commercity provides the licensing and lease, and the funding is under negotiation with Orasia Capital to take them to the next level. So this is an ideal scenario of having an entire ecosystem serving the company, as opposed to coming just there, establishing your company, and then basically figuring it out on your own. So we obviously like to focus as well on the community aspect of it. This is something we're very proud of. This is actually, I know it sounds very corny and cheesy, but a lot of people like Dubai Commercity because they can come into the office. I mean, we have random people just walking into the office. Oh, he's Mitch's friend. He established the company. Mitch is my boss. He established the company, and he went, to in the morning to go say hi. He has an issue. They have an issue. Sales hasn't been. We have a cafe. They're like, sales have been struggling the summer months. It's been an issue for us. Can you guys help us out? They're like, listen, you know what we'll do? We have events that we host with Dubai Commercity, so instead of getting catering outside, we'll get catering from you guys. So we try to find solutions for companies. People like that. It's not you're not dealing with a corporate. You're kind of dealing with a group of friends, which is nice. So that's also very important for us. So we've had as well, successful partnerships as well over time. So for example, I don't know if any of you visited Dubai. So Wafi was one of the original high-end malls in Dubai. So when we were growing up, you go to, when after Eid or after Christmas, etc., you'd go to Wafi because there's where you whatever you saved up in terms of your allowances, you'd go get something nice over there. But over time, with other malls coming up, etc., Wafi has kind of been forgotten. So they recently revitalized themselves where they wanted to create a digital experience. So let's say, I don't know, somebody in the crowd makes vests, right? And they don't want to spend so much money on a boutique and a big mall because it would be super expensive with the staff, etc. All these things. That's not a problem. So what we can do, and this is the partnership we joined with Wafi, is they would get their license, their lease, their registration, 2 visas for their employees, financial services. So for example, their auditing services, etc. All these things for like a fee of $10,000. In the first year. For an additional little bit of a top up, they can go to Wafi and have like a phygital store. So basically, instead of having a big boutique store with having hundreds of inventory in the back, what you do is you have a very small micro store. You basically just showcase one of each product. The person likes it. They look at the size that fits it. So for example, in terms of augmented reality, they ordered it online and it's at their home. They don't need to carry out bags. They don't need to do anything. So it's a very unique shopping experience. Lide is actually an organization, another partnership we did with Lide is an organization which is based in Brazil. So the organization is very well connected to all the companies in Brazil. I'm talking about the large corporate companies. So the head of Lide is actually the former governor of the state of Sao Paulo in Brazil, which is the business capital of Brazil. So even from our perspective, if we have companies that are in Dubai Commercity, they're like, listen, we want to look at outside of the UAE. How do we do that? This is where like, listen, you don't need to reinvent the wheel and other countries we go to. More often than not, we do have a partnership with them where we can take you there. So we have another one as well that was recently signed. It was so recent, actually, we couldn't add it. We have a partnership with eBay. So even companies in Dubai Commercity that are starting up, that think they're only selling in Dubai actually have a much wider platform where they can sell on eBay and logistics is taken on the back end with us. So it really helps accelerate the growth of companies. So UAE, I mean, we're over here. UAE is situated over here. So UAE is within a 5-hour flight radius with over half the world's population. So it makes it very, very convenient and very super easy to connect. Let me give you an example and a statistic. So India, obviously a huge population, most populous country in the world, booming in terms of trade. The flight, there is a shorter flight from Dubai to Mumbai, which is India's economic capital, than Mumbai to New Delhi. So that's how close Dubai is to major centers of commerce around the world. So this is why it makes it ideal. And our economic zone is literally, it's a 15-minute walk to the airport. So it's super, super easy. The walk from the airport to your office is literally the walk where I'm standing now to the metro station where XL is, how to get in and off. So it's super, super easy, super convenient. So here's my contact details. Please scan it, email me. We'd love to have you over. Dubai Commercity is obviously always open. You guys are welcome to come on by to establish your companies, but don't think you need to physically be there to establish a company. Shoot me an email. The entire process can be done remotely. We always love to have you over, but I get sometimes, people's schedules are busy, etc. We can do the entire complete business setup process remotely, and when you guys visit, then you can collect your keys for your facility and move in. So thank you so much for your time. I'll be happy to take any questions after my presentation. And we have a booth, so please feel free to stop by. Thank you so much.